News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moskow.
Karen, we begin with a Bloomberg News exclusive. Sources tell Bloomberg News that authorities in China are discouraging local firms from using Nvidia's less advanced H20 processor, particularly for government-related purposes. We're told the guidance also includes AI accelerators from advanced micro devices, though it's not clear whether the notices specifically mention AMD. We get more from Bloomberg's Min Lo in Hong Kong.
Definitely very significant. The timing as well, very significant, coming on the day when President Trump had announced the extension of the trade truce. And we know China had been pushing so hard for the rolling back of these tech curbs. And clearly, China doesn't see the reversal of the decision to sell H20 chips to China as a win or a concession at all.
Bloomberg's Min Lo reports Chinese regulators have raised security concerns about the Nvidia H20. Nvidia has repeatedly denied any vulnerabilities. Checking Nvidia shares in the pre-market, they're down 0.3%. AMD is up 0.1%.
Well, Nathan, Washington and Beijing have agreed to keep their tariffs at current levels for another 90 days. The two sides initially reached a 90-day pause in May. The extension that lasts until November 10th maintains the trade status quo between the world's two largest economies and follows a series of tit-for-tat hikes and export restrictions on rare earth magnets and certain technologies. Wendy Cutler, vice president of the Asia Society Policy Institute, says even with the extension, negotiations won't be easy.
Well, there's not a lot of time for these negotiations to proceed. So I think it's extremely important that that both sides have agreed to a tariff rollover. So now they can really put their energies and attention on the key outstanding issues, including export controls, critical minerals, excess capacity, you name it. There's lots of issues on the agenda and not a lot of time to come up with negotiated solutions.
Wendy Cutler with the Asia Society Policy Institute spoke after President Trump announced the extension of the truce in a Truth Social post.
Another presidential announcement, Karen, is getting a lot of attention in the nation's capital. The president says he is taking federal control of Washington, D.C.'s police department. In a news conference heard here on Bloomberg Radio, he said he'll deploy 800 National Guard troops in the district to fight crime.
So today we're declaring public safety emergency in the District of Columbia, and Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's fantastic, is taking command of the Metropolitan Police Department as of this moment. And I'll be making the appropriate notifications to Congress.
President Trump also threatened to insert federal personnel into other cities, including New York and Chicago, if they don't crack down on, quote, out-of-control crime. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser says the president's announcement was, in her words, unsettling and unprecedented.
I can't say that given some of the rhetoric of the past that we're totally surprised.
D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser. Justice Department statistics show violent crime in Washington, D.C. reached a 30-year low in 2024.
Well, also in D.C., Nathan, President Trump named E.J. Antony, an economist with the conservative think tank, the Heritage Foundation, as the new head of the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. The president dismissed the previous chief following a weak jobs report that included several revisions. The president claimed the report was rigged against him. President Trump is promising future data releases will be, quote, honest and accurate. Bloomberg senior editor Derek Walbank says that faith in U.S. economic data remains uncertain.
Antony will be under an exorbitant amount of pressure to prove to lawmakers and to prove to to economists and to market participants that the BLS numbers are accurate. They were accurate, and they will be accurate.
Bloomberg senior editor Derek Walbank adding that Antony will still need to be confirmed in the position by the Senate.
Well, gold is holding a loss, Karen, after President Trump said imports of gold bars would not be subject to U.S. tariffs, reversing an earlier announcement from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Gold has climbed more than a quarter this year, supported by geopolitical and trade tensions, along with central bank purchases. COMEX gold this morning is down 0.3%, trading at $33.94 an ounce.
And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moskow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.